Okay. So, oh, you're on the phone here.
I think, Sherry, you should stay on the phone because, just because it's going to be time, we just to talk about the best way to work things. I think it'd be helpful.
Okay. Yeah. I'm here on my phone. So, and I've got. I'll look at Darlene's Zoom.
Okay.
Okay. So you've been getting emails from regarding Virginia Beach, Janet?
No, I haven't gotten any emails regarding Virginia Beach.
Oh, okay.
I should say I haven't gone on my email today. I've been tied up. So
Yeah.
if it came today, then I haven't seen it.
No, a couple of days ago.
No, I didn't get anything.
Because Lisa got something, some response, and she was, and I asked her to kick the email to you.
I don't think so. It would have been from Lisa. Let me see. I got a lot of emails.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
No, I don't see it.
Okay. Well, yeah, in terms of the MOU, they wanted to have a meeting about that, and I haven't read the emails, so I don't really know what they're asking for. But it's all about negotiation.
Okay. Darlene, have you logged on or tried to?
Log on to what?
The Zoom. Is Darlene?
Oh, Darlene. I don't. She actually just disappeared into the kitchen. Darlene?
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Yeah, I think that's why I asked you about Virginia Beach, because she kind of left the room for a minute.
Yeah, so who did Parrot write back? Who wrote?
Yeah, it was Parrot who wrote and was requesting a meeting regarding the MOU.
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
In the category of it's about time.
Yeah. Are you on Zoom there?
Trying to get on it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and it was. So I asked Lisa to send that email to you and to Richard, the attorney.
Okay.
And so you're saying you don't have it. So I will look and make sure I get it sent to you.
Did it go to you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I can log onto your email. Yeah, just have her send it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I have it now. Yeah, she sent it to me. So, or it's in my email.
So you can forward it.
Yeah. Or you can, like you said, you can go in there. I didn't. Yeah, the Sherry Bailey.
But it would be easy. Is it open right there right now?
No.
Are you looking at? Oh,
no,
okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So what do we have, Darlene? You there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So, you're not there yet?
Getting there.
You're getting there.
All right. I'm going to log, in the meantime, I'm going to log onto your email.
Okay.
Is it Virginia, is it Juneteenth VA 19 or is it Sherry Bailey 500?
Sherry Bailey 500. Maybe.
And you think it was from? Oh, Melanie Anderson.
No, it wouldn't have been from Melanie.
No, I understand. It would be from Lisa. She goes by. Yeah, here we go. Okay. I have something here. A lot. Oh, here we go. Maybe this is it. Hello, Ms. Wilson. I met today with colleagues in detail. What's detail? I think you should separate it and just do the professional development separately. Do you know what DTAL stands for?
No.
Yes. Hold on. Oh, I see Darlene. Hold on. Let me admit her. There we go.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. It's nice to see you. All right. So let me bring up the website. Hold on a second. So here we go. All right, so this is the video audio. So can you see the screen? Okay. So when you click on video audio, this is the list of everything I have. There's nothing for this one. I couldn't find a video. I tried to mount them, but this was under, like, let's say working sessions, right? So when you click this, okay, it opens up a new screen, right? And then if I wanted, I could put in, I mean, this has your title, but I could put in a title up here. I just haven't gotten around to do that. But you see, it's linked to YouTube, right? Hey, Sharon, how you doing? All right. And then you can go back, and you'll be back in the list. Okay. Now, let me log on so you can see how I do that, and then you can decide whether that interests you or not. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so now I'm on Squarespace. All right. Go on our website. So this is how I would do it. All right. So this is the screen that I'm actually now inside the website. Okay. So I go to video audio or whatever page I wanna. When I go to pages over here. All right. Then I have the links, and I have this all written down. You see how I have video links? These are all the videos that are linked. So every video gets a new page, right? So you actually add a page here, and you have to name it. So I'd add, let's see, look, I'd add, it's not, I'd add a page, make it like that, right? And then I would, let's say, call it, I don't know, Nat Turner discussion, okay? So now I have a new page, right? Then I go to edit. I'm just kind of showing you the process. Then I would add, and then I'd add a video. You get the idea. Then I'd add the link, et cetera, okay? And then I'd go back to the page. I am your change, so just go to you. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'd go back to the page, and then I would edit this page so that it has, like another phrase under here, and then I would link that to the new page. So that, I mean, like I said, I wrote it all down, but that's basically, so it's a bit laborious, but it gives us the option of being able to open up in a new screen and then come back and stay in. Unfortunately, in Squarespace, you can't link to another spot on the page.
Oh.
That was the problem, because otherwise, of course, I wouldn't have bothered making new pages for every video. But you can't jump from like up here to down here.
Okay.
So that's the reason. So I can, if you you must have a whole bunch of videos at this point.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was that this is that in the long run, my thought was that let's see if I can find an example. Okay, so whoopsie, let's cancel here. It's fine. If I go to Abolitionist Museum, for instance, you see these titles? Do you see where it says Abolitionist Museum?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a separate ad, like that's adding a banner, that the title to this. Or, we can figure out how to change, the actual name that's on the video file. Like you and I, or you can come up with some way you want to name things, and that can be displayed. So that's basically how I was doing it. And then I did go to look for some of the videos, but so I don't know where you were putting them. So anyway, I can put up, if you have a bunch of videos, I can put them up. If you want to do it, I can give you a password.
DR Productions, that's where I put them in.
Say again?
A link called DR Productions.
Okay. So you'll send me, do you want me to put them up, or do you want me to send you the process and you go on and put them up?
I think I only got like 2 or 3.
Okay.
The rest of them, I just got to cut a little bit of stuff out of them, and then they'll be probably up tomorrow. I'll send them to you tomorrow.
I'm happy to put them up, and then if there's some point that you want to, there's only 2 or 3 total. Okay, and you have others in the works?
No, I just have to do a little bit more editing to it.
Okay, is it from Nat Turner, or is it from other
Nat
stuff?
Turner.
12 Days of Turner.
It's from 12 Days of Turner, right? So just let me know what category they should go under, so I list them, and what I should call them.
Okay.
Like, give me, some kind of title, whether it's, discussion with Sherry Bailey, or anything that's descriptive to someone who visits the website.
Okay.
So do
Okay.
we have a limit on how many pages we can have?
I haven't looked into that, but are you thinking, I don't know the answer to that. Let me see, let me Google that. Since we learned that we had a limit to how many emails we could have.
Well, you know how I tend to overwrite and overproduce, so.
I don't think so. I'm guessing, my guess is they would just charge us more if we went over a certain number.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay.
But I think it's a matter of volume on their server, and it's not like your files are that big.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we can't upload the videos directly to Squarespace. Because you can't, that's why we have to have a link from YouTube. Because we can't actually upload them to Squarespace. So what I'll have to do is when you send me your link, I will download the file, upload it to Sherry's YouTube.
Okay.
Unless you have a way of doing that, but I can do that and then link it.
Okay.
Do you have a way of have you been putting any of this stuff onto Sherry's YouTube station?
No, I
Okay.
just uploaded them to be transferred.
But we
I'm
want
sorry?
to, let me ask you a question.
Uploaded them so you could
Okay.
get them.
So Janet, if we were with GoDaddy, would we have the same issue in terms of the links?
I don't know the answer to that. Like, I'd have to investigate what the features are of their website.
Mm-hmm.
But it would if you have a company that will allow you to store your videos on their server, they're going to charge you a lot more money because you know what I mean. You're taking up a lot of space.
Right.
Whereas now you're paying for that space on YouTube, and you're utilizing. You're just so in some ways, I think it's financially probably more efficient than to have it sitting on like yet another drive.
Right.
But I would like to any videos that you and Darlene produce, I'd like to upload them to your YouTube station so they're there as well.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right.
And I think that's the what is that called? I think that's the June. It's like Virginia Juneteenth or something. Virginia Juneteenth VA. It's and then it's SB. It says Juneteenth VA SB Inc. is the name of the YouTube station.
Oh, okay.
And that's the only YouTube. Do you have more than one YouTube station?
I think we must because yeah, we do.
I'm not gonna lie. I find the whole YouTube. It's very. I don't really understand the relationship. Do you have a YouTube station, Darlene?
Yeah.
So when I try to log on to Sherry's, it's just I'll go to it and then it'll have all these public YouTubes, and then I have to make sure that I'm logged onto her actual Google account so that the YouTube that's associated with I often find it takes me a little time to actually get to the station to upload things. Is that where you're going to store yours, on your YouTube station?
No, I don't store my videos that I'm transferring. No.
Yeah.
I store that in Gmail.
Gmail. On your Gmail. So you're going to send me a link?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
you download it.
Okay, because when I went on the email, there was a whole bunch of links, but none of them worked.
Yeah,
So I don't
because
know if
that video wasn't completed, and I had
Got
to
it, okay.
re-edit it, and so
Okay.
I took it down. I ain't want, you know.
Because it wasn't, as long as I wasn't doing anything wrong. All right, so just probably the thing to do is maybe either pop me an email or a text when you've uploaded something,
Okay.
and then I'll know to look at it.
Okay.
And I'm on almost every day, so.
Okay.
And now that I've taught myself how to do it again, it's a little easier. So that's it. Anything else going on?
That's it. All I have to do is edit the 12 days, re-edit it because it's all finished.
Yes. it
Great,
looks
I can't
great.
wait to watch it.
Yeah. It's really great. So
It's all finished.
okay. So then
Are there going to be 3 different videos, all from Nat Turner?
Oh yeah, it's hair.
Okay,
It's what was it, Gettysburg Address? And it was
Perfect.
day one.
I watched some of those when they were live, So I know what you're talking about when you guys were broadcasting it. Great, fantastic. So that can be the subhead. So we'll do 12 days of Nat Turner hair. It's 12 days of Nat Turner blot. You know,
Okay.
we'll put Sherry. Let's put Sherry in charge of that.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Well, great. So I think we got in under your time schedule there. So perfect.
Beautiful. Okay, so let me know what's going on with anything else.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll send you those emails. Or
Okay,
you
very
know,
good.
you got them.
You guys have a great day. Yeah, I can pick them up off you. I think
Okay.
I only got. How many should I be looking for?
I don't know, 2 or 3.
Three.
All right.
It's called DR Productions, gmail.com. That's the one I sent it to, because the other ones were full, and then the videos weren't complete. So it's called DR Productions.
So, but you're going to send me an actual link, or do I have to go onto Productions and download it?
No, it's an actual link. When you go in there, you just
Perfect.
look for my email, and you'll see 3 links up there, and just download them into your computer.
Perfect. All right. Well, I look forward to it, and then I'll watch them.
All right. Thank you, Janet.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Thanks
All right,
very much.
take care.
Bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wonderful.
All right, so I'm gonna go to DR Productions.
There's your paperwork there.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
You got a copy of it, Shirley?
I made a copy for myself, yeah, but
Okay.
you needed to have the original, I think. And don't forget to go get the lug
Yeah.
done, because you're ready to get that done now.
Yeah, because the tire was, so, I gotta call Walmart and see if I come there or go somewhere else.
You mean a different Walmart?
A different Walmart?
I mean, it's got to be a Walmart, but it doesn't have to necessarily be the one we went to at Chesapeake Square.
Well, I can go to one in Yorktown.
Oh, good. Yeah. Definitely. What we got there? Oh, it's the Bailey. Hey, how you doing? Doing pretty good. Enjoying that weather?
Oh, right.
Indeed. Oh, good. I'm so glad that got done because we've been talking about that for about a month, trying to get her to get it figured out and for you to be able to get that information.
Yeah, because they kept uploading videos, and then they said they got to be re-edited, and then they kept taking them down.
Uh-huh.
I can't link to it.
Yeah, right.
I had to change them.
Right. Well, that's good. I mean, we got it done. So
Yeah.
once it's done, it's done. You don't have to
Yeah.
keep going back.
So I just got a couple more to edit, and I think day 10 and day 12 is the only ones I have to go over,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of them is just little cuts here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we end up with, that's gonna be probably be closer to about under 20 minutes, but about 20 minutes, you think?
With all of them?
With the 12 days.
All right, with the 12 days, each one, the
Oh, that's
final
right. I
one?
mean, that's the one I said, let's have at least 2 minutes per day.
Yeah.
So that's at least 24 minutes.
But you say you wanted to enter film festival.
Well, that's what I'm getting to that, because that needed to be 74 minutes, though. Remember, that was needed to be, that was to be able to submit to, what is it? What is this here?
This is YouTube.
YouTube, yeah, exactly. To be
Oh.
able to submit to YouTube to try to get a distribution deal, you have to give them at least a 74-minute film. And so, we're close though, because all we got to do is put together 12 Days of Turner, Abolitionist Museum, and something else. We got enough footage to be able to create.
Because
Julia,
and then you did the Kwanzaa 12 Days of Turner.
yeah, Yeah, we got enough to be able to like put together 70-something
Yeah.
minutes with no
That'd be
problem.
70-some minutes, because I
Right.
think that reading was like 30 or 40.
Well, I mean, we don't even have to use all of it.
Yeah,
You know, we can put all of the projects that we got and come up with 74 minutes. Listen, yeah, and then we can submit that right away.
yeah,
We'll just kind of tie it all together with the narrative, and you know, I'll just do a voiceover kind of thing like that, and we got our 70-something minutes, and we can submit that. You know.
you have a shorter one where you can put up there
Mm-hmm.
and a long one.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So that's what I want us to come up with out of, you know, because I want to get that soon so we can get it out to them. And yeah, so cool. We'll get the 12 days up there on the website. And
And we can go by seasons. I got some pictures of fall. I got some pictures of winter, but the snow is just not, it's not out there. I didn't walk out in the snow and take pictures.
well, we forgive you if you do.
Yeah, I figured that out. Because I didn't go and get no boots and go walking around taking pictures of the snow. I didn't do it.
That's all right. We can make it work.
Yeah.
We can definitely make it work. So you can be able to send her something when? The 12th, you got to work on that.
Probably
to get
by
to the-
Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
I'll be able to send her, because we went over the changes you wanted, and they're not that large.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I can sit down and do that.
Okay.
Because that's what I did last time. I sit down and did all the changes in a couple of hours.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
and Vanessa Valentine, her interview was complete.
Why does that name sound so familiar? She was here?
Yeah, she was one of the ones to interview.
Oh,
Let me show you.
okay.
I'll call you back. All right.
You can have your conversation and everything, darling.
On YouTube.
Oh.
I
I forgot it was on. But you said I didn't.
No way.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, here it is, DR Productions.
Charlene said, wait a minute. Not on YouTube do I want to have my conversation.
Yeah. Here go 3 of them, right here, the 3 that you approved. I can put them up there on the screen if you want. This is
Yeah,
Vanessa
That's
Valentine.
Vanessa Valentine, okay.
Yeah.
Double V.
So I separated her from the other one. You want to see it all the way through?
Yep. Let me go.
A native of Norfolk, Virginia, but I spent my adult years.
I work with disabled people, development of disabled people, government programs, helping them to live a positive daily life. Okay, there are so many people that have disabilities that just they don't go out more. They just stay at home. So my job was to just expose them to different aspects of living a positive, productive daily life. Okay.
So how did you get into that work? Did you fall into it or you chose it? Or?
I started a couple of programs. Really, I started the program because I wanted to get out the center. So, I started a couple of programs and then, other people heard of what I was doing. And so they was like, wow, you know, it was called Enclave. So I'd take a group of disabled people and we'd go out, maybe we'd cut the grass or we would do things around that other people that, you know, some people, I'm gonna say one people, would not like to do this job.
You're
So I
very
would take my
accomplished.
people, and we go and do that job. So that we, enclaves. So it was just really a way to get out of the center with my group of people and expose them to a different life. And they liked it. Yeah, they got out, they got to go on the bus and we ride out. And, okay, we do the enclave, we just show them different ways to do things that they didn't do. And they liked every day that they did something different. You could see the growth in them, the way they responded. And I liked it being that person that exposed them to a different way of life. And the independency, I got people and they were like babies. And I got to elevate them, not to use that word, to where they were independent. Okay, they would sit home something. When I got them, they were sitting at home doing nothing. By the time I finished elevating them, they were going to work and they had a bank account. They wanted to get, a couple of them got their own apartment and they got their, when they got their first paycheck and they got their bank account. And so then after they get the paycheck, then I would take them out to the grocery store. And this is how you spend your money. You know, and we might go out to eat lunch or something like that. That's what I do.
Wow.
I trained them to be normal.
Right.
You
To
know?
live productive lives.
Yeah.
Something like reparations, what does that, when I say that term, what does that mean to you?
Oh man, the 40 acres of me.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Multiple choice. Nat Turner, hero or madman?
In between. You got to have a little madness in you. You understand? He's I can't say hero. He might be hero in some people's eyes, but in some people's eyes, he's a madman. Okay? So I'm going to say in between. Okay?
Okay. And in terms of where we are today in the 21st century, this year 2020, if Nat Turner were here, what would you say to him? Wow. Let's be peaceful about it. Okay, let's be peaceful.
Let's be peaceful about it. When you bear arms, madness comes into play. Okay, everybody mad. If you shoot me, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot your family. You know, madness. Let's be peaceful about it. Okay, that's all. Let's push forward. I come from the philosophy of Martin Luther King. Let's push forward, but let's be peaceful about it. Let's change things, but let's be peaceful about it. That's how I see it.
Well, thank you for your time here. It's been illuminating, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. You gave me a chance to speak my piece.
As you said, when you were
That little
saying-
piece there, where she says, you gave me a chance to speak my piece.
You want to use that
the
too?
word,
Yeah.
the Lord, that he really did feel that this was his calling. And And so much so that he actually convinced others of this same thing. Now, it's already hard enough to do for yourself, but when you are so profound that people actually believe that you are that profound that you can actually convince others to do so too, that's pretty amazing. So the fact that at the end he had almost 50 to 80 men. I'm guessing black and white.
No,
All black.
no black.
Okay, they all were black. Okay. 50 to 80 men. That is something miraculous within itself. But like I said, it takes a whole heap to convince others of your vision, and to make people actually believe it, so that they would actually help you murder and kill. Not even thinking about their own lives or what could happen. So after reading that, I truly believe that now. So one of the parts that stood out to me also is that just because you have told this white man of his visions and of his his prophecy, I think they said they refused to baptize him because he spoke out about it in the church.
That was his, that Turner baptized a white man.
Right. Because they refused to.
Well, yeah, well, they wouldn't let Nat Turner baptize anyone in the church. They didn't consider him, the white community did not consider him a legitimate preacher or priest.
Right, but I think it was read that because he told the white man of this vision, and he was forthcoming about it. The white man that I'm guessing they consider him because I'm not understanding why the white man. Okay, why the white man got punished? That's what I'm trying to say.
Well,
Because he said he told him, and
Well, the white man wasn't punished. All the white community did was say, no, this black guy can't baptize in the church. What the white man suffered, there was a disease, those growths on his face, or on his skin, which was not.
okay, I must have read it differently then. Okay.
So Turner baptized the white man in the street because they would not let him do it in the church. That was the only thing the text mentioned. The white community would say, no, you can't get baptized in church at 5. And it was rather different than Nat Turner's. Gabriel Prosser left orders.
Yeah, he was black also.
Yes. Prosser gave orders to his men to be sure to spare all white Baptists and Methodists and I think Quakers, because in 1800, those dissenting congregations were still openly anti-slavery in Virginia. Prosser's rebellion didn't see it as a war between black people and white people. He saw it as a war between the slavers and everyone else. And Turner's rebellion 30 years later, he didn't draw any distinction between white people. Killed them all, including the children, enslaved like
I think I need to add a line there that Greg Etroff is a historian. Can we add that?
But they did in that terms, insurrection, regardless of race, regardless of age, gender, and that was terror of all America, not just in the South, but if you got over to the north and, to the west, this was more serious.
This massacre was going
Yeah,
on.
this is real business here. And what they doubled down on were restrictions as opposed to gradual emancipation, which is one of the cries for it. Instead, it became, illegal, even more illegal to teach blacks to read and write, to teach them, before teaching them, punished and that they were caught learning, they were killed. And not because that man could read and write, and that was, they did not, one of them, like, he was too smart for those good kind of thing.
There's actually a marker in downtown Norfolk where a white woman was arrested for teaching black students.
Everything that I said in that last thing, that can cut, that can be gone. Okay.
You want that cut?
I do, because it's too low for one thing. I know what I'm saying because I know what I said, but can we make the sound stronger or anything?
I can try to make the sound strong. I could, cut it out where you're talking by yourself
Mm-hmm.
and make the sound stronger.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you can make what I'm saying louder, then I would be okay with it. Or if you can't make it louder, then it needs to go or needs to have captions or something like that, because
Okay.
somebody who doesn't know what I'm saying, you won't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so, yeah,
Okay, let's go to the next one.
okay.
This is day one.
Okay.
This is 22 minutes.
Hi, thank you for joining us on day one of the 12 days of Turner. It's October 31st. So based on it being October 31st, he was put in prison and given a trial, and they hung him on November 11th. And so that's the 12 days of Turner that kind of gave birth to the title of all of this. But essentially the goal is to be able to lift up the Nat Turner insurrection and have people examine from all directions. Because we know that he is considered by many to be a madman, and to others he was a prophet, an agent of survival. And somewhere the truth lies between those two, and we want to be able to share that. So today you're listening to the 12 days of Turner for the next 12 days, with an opportunity to participate if you should desire to. We want you to let us know what you think about the Nat Turner insurrection.
I'm proud. We did this, killed this, murder. Not, I'm a murderer. I'm a killer. Right?
Oh, well, yeah, well, of course.
And
I'm just having a little bit of trouble believing that also he would have thought, just because he's a man of God, that he would have thought, okay, God wants me to do this. That's something that is a little bit, crass, because the last thing that I feel that God wants is for you to commit a sin that he said is a sin.
Well, it's a sin that you're killing the slave-holding class in the Old Testament world.
Well, yeah, but see, that's the point. Gray is talking, that's what the hypocrisy of Gray was. You're talking about a sin that you're also committed to.
Mm-hmm.
But then he was trying to pin Turner as this type of person when he was committing the same sin. But the issue that I'm having is that, people say God told me to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Because as he said, I don't tell you to kill people. That's not my mission. That's not what I was working for.
The Old Testament God does tell people.
Okay. I mean, can I?
Yeah.
I can read it, sir. I don't know what it says. So I don't know what it says now. I will not shock the feelings of humanity, nor wound afresh the bosoms of the disconsolate sufferers in this unheard of and inhumane massacre by detailing the abuse of their fiend-like barbarian. There were 2 or 3 who were in the power of these wretches, had they known it, and who escaped in the most provincial manner. Had they known it, and who escaped in such provincial manner. There were 2 whom they thought they left dead on the field at Mr. Parker's, but who were only stunned by the blows of their guns. As they did not take the time to reload, they discharged on them. The escape of a little girl who went to school at Mr. Wallace, and where the children were collected for that purpose, excited general sympathy. As their teacher had not arrived, they were at play in the yard, and seeing the Negroes approach, she ran up on the dirt chimney, such as are common to log houses, and remained there unnoticed during the massacre of the 11 that were killed at this place. She remained on her hiding place till just before the arrival of the party who were in pursuit of the murderers. When she came down and fled to a swamp where a mere child as she was, with the horrors of the lake scene before her, she lay concealed until the next day. When seeing a party go up to the house, she came up, and on being asked how she escaped, replied with the utmost simplicity, "The Lord helped her." She was taken up behind a gentleman of the party and returned to the arms of her weeping mother. Miss Whitehead concealed herself between the bed and the mat that supported it while they murdered her sister in the same room. Without us covering her, talking about what happened on the insurrection with the young white child. So let me just put this into the mix. Every story got two sides, and then there's like the truth. Right? So if his truth, if his side is God told me this is, I've witnessed this for 10 years of my adult life. I've prayed to my God, I've read my word, right? And now after signs and wonders and years of becoming this man, I've baptized the white man, right? So my relationship with Most High should not be questioned. And in theory, his actions too, right? Because we can't test his heart, right? We can't question his heart. He baptized a white man, right?
So that's a different question.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that he's always been.
Because if I don't do it, you know, we would never get to a place where I want to be. But the key part in that is that this was all his thing. I don't feel like it had anything to do with God in particular. This was something that he wanted. Yeah.
But he was seeing signs from God.
Right.
He felt that it was being
Any truth at all in Gray's narrative that he believed he was taking orders from God and God wanted him to go Old Testament.
Right.
There
But
are
if we want to play out that scenario, then why do we sit there and punish others who say the same thing? We had a man just in Texas say that the reason that he ran us into a pizza place,
God told him to.
because God told him to.
But this is what sets Nat Turner, above
This is what I was about to say, what I was trying to say.
the whole, the regular, he was extraordinary in terms of his path. I mean, so I believe in his path. His path was righteous from the beginning. He was only the age of 4 he was able to read.
Right.
So he's been anointed in some way. He was able to talk about things that happened.
Which is why when you say it, it's baptized to put your hands in water, in 18, whatever it was, amongst witnesses who are believers, yes. Who's to say he ain't?
So can we have some
White man in the water.
still shots when they're talking about, when we're having this conversation?
Still shots of Nat Turner.
Yeah. Somebody being baptized?
Had a checklist to be checked off, and he would qualify, as, they call him a prophet, and.
He had his hands on the white man in the water.
So, you're.
And both Madero and Terrell are truly fascinated by his baptizing this white man.
I'm questioning whether or not we should go off the opinions of a person or a man. It's just like, okay, put it like this. It's just like this. I can sit here and I can run into a burning building and save 5 to 10 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And when I come out of that burning building and I save 5 to 10 kids, to the world, it may seem like, okay, I'm that hero. He's a hero by the standards of him saving 5 to 10 kids. But to me, it's a completely different thing. I'm not, matter of fact, great, I say it on my wall. When I do Div Explore, I say it all the time. You said I was a hero, I just call myself a patriot. And the reason that I say that is because those are the words of other people and the way that they think. But I don't feel like that's the way of, how.
So you said Nat Turner did not feel that he was a hero?
I don't think, well, no, I'm saying that if other people feel you are something, but that doesn't mean that he felt the same way.
Right, so he may not feel that he was a hero.
Oh, he may not even feel that he was a prophet. That's what I'm saying.
I think he did think he was a prophet.
I think
Because
there
he
was
went
no way
around
around it.
preaching
Good
and
one.
spreading the word, you know,
Until his death.
and again, the signs that he received, I mean, blood on corn, you know, what looked like dew or drops of blood on corn, the solar eclipse, just, you know, there were different things. And when he ran away and escaped, and he was gone for about 30 days, about a month or so, and then he came back. And everyone was like, why would you come back, you know? And, you know, so I think that, that there's some extraordinary, you know, attributes to him that make him, that lift him into that realm of, you know, prophet.
I think that all the evidence we have points to him believing he was a prophet. Of course,
Yeah, when you talk about when he ran away, have a image of a runaway newspaper clipping kind of thing like that.
Billy, you know, everybody take the poison and die.
Jonestown.
Yeah, Jonestown, yeah, he was
But
prophet.
see, that's exactly to my point.
Which is what you.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
just made my point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That exactly to my point. Any person can believe or say that they are a prophet because of certain actions in their life. But I mean, you see it all the time, especially within churches. So, okay, I did this, or yeah, I talked to this, or yeah, I did this, or yeah, I did that. And
False prophets.
We're dealing with here, basically, at least four perspectives on Natcher. There's how he viewed himself.
And there's how
There's how
Right.
other African Americans viewed him at the time. There's how white Americans viewed him at the time.
Right.
And there's how we viewed him looking at it from the distance of several generations.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I had a friend, that asked me, would you have joined the rebellion, you know, and, when I said I didn't know, she got upset with me. She wanted me to say, in fact, that no, you know, that's not, violence is not the answer. You know, it may be in the 21st century, that's a viable option, but, you know, back then, it would have been like, you know, you're with us or you're not, you know.
Well, I can contest to that because I do believe that back then it was dog eat dog.
Okay.
I really do. That's something I do believe. You know, I really do believe back then it was dog eat dog. Either he was with us or he was against us.
Right.
And during that time and period, it was pretty much like that. You know, you want to know the truth.
Right.
Oh, are you going over here or are you going over here?
Right.
And even then, you know, I feel like even some blacks probably went to the other side because they thought they had a better chance of surviving than they did if they rebelled.
Previous uprisings in Virginia, the first big one was Bacon's Rebellion in 1676.
Right.
And that was poor whites and blacks together against the white ruling class.
Yeah, but you forgot also how that ended.
Oh yeah, the ruling class won.
Right.
But still, I mean, still.
But,
Yeah, but see, but is that?
but it scared the expletive leader out of the ruling class. And so instead the next, actually, even now, I should say the next 350 years, because they're still doing it.
Right.
Ever since then, the upper classes worked as hard as it can to put blacks and poor whites on opposite sides.
Hispanic.
And they were also oppressing Indians. I mean, that was the whole point.
They were
of the
less
rebellion.
Actually, to make it even more complicated, the blacks and the poor whites wanted to take more land from the Indians, and the white aristocracy wanted to leave the Indians what they already had, because they were saying, look, we've already got our plantations in the east,
Exactly.
and we want to trade with the Indians to make even more money. We don't care if you poor guys out west get more land so we can have plantations of your own. We're fine with you having small farms or row farms and letting the Indians keep the land.
And then there's
So some,
how
here, some Bacon Rebellion kind of
the other
images.
90%, because they, you know, basically.
That's what Greg is talking about, Bacon's
That's the
Rebellion.
whole thing about the
That happened right here,
the
in Sussex.
Constitution is about, you know, you can all have this, and that's not the case.
Mhm.
That's not the case at all.
Mhm.
But they set it up so that.
In fact, you heard
romanticize
Bacon's
the
Castle?
view of the Constitution.
It's out in
I
Surrey.
mean, I can, if I want.
And it's like a tourism
I can
attraction.
also achieve this. And that's just not.
And that's the whole point. See, she just said one key factor. Play back. And that's.
Because they can constantly kind of like massage to make it more.
There are always a tiny minority cross that divide. Andrew Jackson was born effectively homeless. His parents were Cato Caley homeless. His parents were Cato Caley not.
I didn't catch that.
In their relatives' houses
A repeated
on the
thing.
Carolina frontier. They didn't have their own place when he was born.
There it
And
was.
he, through a combination of talent and luck and the right circumstances, moved to the right place at the right time and got filthy rich himself and ended up with this magnificent plantation and beautiful mansion. Now, and he ended up president of the United States. Now, 299,999,999 out of 300 million of us are not going to do that. But since there's the one guy who does, they can always say, hey, it's possible.
And that means it's possible, so
Yeah,
there you go.
And it is possible, it's just really, really, really improbable. But that's always been the message. I think it was Sinclair Lewis who said, there are no poor people in America as far as they're concerned, they're just temporarily embarrassed millionaires.
And you believe that, though.
I like that.
They believe it.
Okay, so let's end this right there at
are
temporarily embarrassed millionaires
handful
or
of
something like that.
paths,
Greg's
to wealth
line.
and power.
You want
There's
to hear
always,
hair
there's always going to
or,
be somebody.
Oh, Harry's here?
That's the Apple computer in his garage.
and
Or who can hit a curveball
also
40,
y'all
50
talking about
times,
Malcolm X
and
and,
baseball player who makes $10 million a year.
Oh,
Or
okay. I'll
sings
listen.
like an angel and writes beautiful songs and becomes the next Beyonce.
The only-
But there are only a tiny handful of them.
But the only issue that I have is that when you're a person of color, it always seems to be subsidized rather than.
I don't understand this statement at all.
And the reason I say this is because if you want to get ahead in if you're a person of color, we want you black, but we don't want you too black. Or we want
Get
you
that.
this way, but we don't want you that
you
way.
know,
So
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
what,
it's always
explain
got
it
to
to
be
me.
subsidized and categorized in
Black.
some sort of
we
way.
don't want you to,
Why can't it just
you know,
be,
dress a certain
it's
way,
just
talk a
like,
certain
you
way.
go for God, a person named Letitia Jenkins won't probably have a
The name thing I get.
Rebecca Thompson.
But
And it's
being
because they
subsidized,
call Letitia Ghetto.
I don't understand that. I don't know what that means.
You know, she's not qualified enough. Rebecca, wholesome, nice name, and so and that's what gets me.
Is this the right
It's still that way today, and that's what I have an issue with. It just seems like that when we're talking about black progression, it seems like it always has to be subsidized in some way. It can't just be.
And it's not just black people. If you're Jose Cruz, you're gonna get farther if you change your name to
No,
Ted.
I thought I had checked that out. This might be the wrong
Is
one.
that what it is?
I think Ted Cruz did change his name, but it wasn't originally Jose. Bobby Jindal, the Indian American governor.
Yeah, we talked about,
Have an ethnic Indian name, which I blank on at the moment. And he chose Bobby because he was a fan of the Brady Bunch.
I don't know, but that's a funny
But he was a good
little
part.
anecdote
Yeah.
there.
And if you go back, it's not true for people. Well, it's not very, I should say it's not very true for people with ethnic Jewish names now. If you're Jewish, you are conditionally white. Sometimes they consider you white, and sometimes they consider you just as much an untermensch as anyone from Nigeria or Afghanistan or any other place that's covered. We Jews constantly get pushed in and out of the privileged elites and never know which way the wind is going to
It
blow
looks like
this.
the same, different one, but
It's,
it don't.
and whether that's a better problem to have or worse problem to have.
That little snippet there when Greg talks
are
about
just the outcome, at least
being
where they
Jewish
stand.
means you're conditionally
It
white,
is a matter of estimate.
I'm gonna need that little,
But-
I'm gonna need that lit for another project
I mean,
for Danny and Lawrence, because that's one of the points in that.
really.
So I'm just giving you, saying that to you, so when I'm go to look for you, we will have this conversation, you'll help me remember it.
It's never talked about. We talk about Jews, but we only talk about black folks, and we look at them as being Christians. And the whole influence of Islam in America, it's been totally ignored. And here we are now, we have an administration that has Muslim bans, and people don't have a clue about what the history is in terms of getting to that point.
And the influence of Islam in America is just increasing. Keith Ellison, who was elected to Congress a few years ago.
Mhm.
And what I thought was really interesting about that was, as a black Muslim, he won a heavily white and Jewish district in Minnesota.
Mhm.
So there are people who can see past those categories and judge you based on what you do, not your demographic.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the issues though is that the way that things get reported, it's either extremist right or extremist left, as opposed to being kind of, moderate and just kind of, fair to all sides there. And we just kind of are losing that perspective, I think, on every issue, everything is so polarized that it's hard to get to any kind of real truth about any of this. And people are coming from such a defensive, posture here that.
Was that defensive with Clinton? I mean, you have a great idea, but if some people don't like a certain way or a certain matter, then it's really the whole thing. It's just like Black Lives Matter.
Mm.
We did Black Lives Matter, when a lot of black folks found out that it was started by 2 Mexicans. Oh, no, I'm going to be a part of it.
Really? Is that
That is true.
And that's the whole point. See, they're forgetting all about the black part because now they only think about the sexuality part. And I'm like, how does that really work? And so it's
intersectionality. There are, it's not a two-dimensional line where you're privileged or not. It's this multi-dimensional lattice where you're privileged in some ways and unprivileged in others. There is white privilege, there is wealth privilege, there is male privilege, there is straight privilege, there is cisgender privilege, there's Christian privilege, there's Muslim privilege, and most of us have some of these privileges, but not all of them. And not all of these privileges are equally beneficial.
Hey, Steve,
I mean, black women are vilified
busy as a
for
cat
our
on
hair
a hot
growth.
tin roof.
I go ahead. Who else has to deal with that?
How about yourself?
When did it become a crime to have your hair coming out of your head, your head, And yet it is. It's been criminalized to the point where you have to go to court to get permission to have our hair on our head. That's not
Calvin
right.
basically said that he was not doing any more Juneteenth
Yes, I heard
events.
about that.
He's focused on the memorial.
Right.
And he gave me the numbers of the superintendent, the current superintendent, and the Clark manager, Phyllis Terrell.
Why is it a crime?
And I had a contact with him last week, and hopefully we'll be in touch with him next week to figure out something about a virtual event that we would be able to. That's kind of where things are at this point.
Right.
I presented at Howard University for a long time since I did a documentary.
Yeah, I don't, Howard would be a good guess in my mind, but I don't know where that was. But, I noticed recently, it's like last year, there was lawsuits
Okay.
where, black women claiming victory because they are now allowed to have their hair natural.
Okay, so they are interested in doing something at Fort Monroe or with? Okay, so what's going on with the Canon people? Oh, okay, so to be, what's the time frame on this? Are we talking like? Oh, okay. Say no more. He just walking down the street. Hmm. The Canon people. Okay. Okay. I'm glad to. What's the House bill for the holiday observance? What's that number? HR 1320. And
Still on that?
what about for the Senate? All right. So what's going on with Sheila Jackson Lee? I know she got something passed recent about reparations and so forth like that. Is that well? She never has been, but I mean that nothing new. Well, maybe it's not his girl; it's just his friend. But at any rate, I'm in the middle of watching some video here, and when Wednesday would be better if you have a choice for me. Yeah. Tuesday's a lot of like council meetings and things like that. You got to go before city council and get budget money and all that kind of stuff like that. So leave my Tuesdays for them. Okay. So I wanted to get those house bills, and there was one other thing I wanted to ask you about. Oh, I know. The national meeting. I missed the last meeting. Did they get the sponsorship letter put together? Really? What? Oh, for heaven's sakes. Mm-hmm.
You wanna see this one? Wait till you get off the phone.
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And probably one that if we can get her to do, we do one about Al Edwards. And all these people qualify as Juneteenth pioneers because they got legislation passed acknowledging Juneteenth.
Right,
You know,
right.
that's a qualification for it. There's a lot of the people that are there, but hey, they're not the same as what the qualification for us to have that. You have to have legislation passed on state or federal level, you know, to be a pioneer.
Right, right.
So,
What about the lady who was just killed last year? Is Sadie? I mean, not Sadie.
Sadie Rock,
Was that? Yeah.
Sadie. Yeah, Sadie will qualify as a Juneteenth pioneer. And if her kids want to help, you know, they got a building dedicated to the new museum. So if they want to do a display by tomorrow or whatnot, you know, yeah, that would be a good thing.
Maybe you should suggest it to them. I'm sure they've got, you know, if
Yeah.
you know, point it out, they would want to do that. Okay, well, as always, a lot going on, and
Yeah, we got a board meeting next Thursday.
what date is that? Next Thursday, the 6th?
Yeah, first Thursday of the month.
Okay. I'm writing it down now. What time?
8 o'clock Central.
So that's 9 o'clock from Eastern,
Yep.
9 p.m. Okay, got it. All right, well,
All right, these people got me starving, sitting up here waiting, and the wind's blowing. All right.
yeah, I got stuff happening, so we'll talk soon then. In fact, I'm gonna try to call in onto the meeting tomorrow with some of my team members.
All right, that sounds like a winner.
Okay, Steve, take care. All right, bye-bye. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Darla?
You ready for the next one?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
This is
sorry.
the last one.
Okay.
Hi, thank you for joining us on
Hey!
day 3 of the 12 days of turn. Hi there, I'm with my mother, Claudette Kelly Peacock, and I wanted to have an opportunity to ask her to share some stories that she used to tell us when we were kids. I'm talking about the story that you told that starts off with basically when you get buried in purple, it's supposed to be, you come back.
I think her name is too late.
Okay. Well, I mean, I introduced her with my mother, and then her name shows up later. It's okay.
Luton Heights? Okay, and this is all in Berkeley?
Yeah.
Okay, so the neighborhood was Berkeley, or the city, Berkeley wasn't a city, was it? It was, okay, Berkeley, and then the particular neighborhood
All
that
this
you
can go.
talked about was called Luton.
This, talk about the neighborhood and everything. Cut that and get to the beginning of the story. Or do what you want.
Right,
because you know
right.
best when you're looking
Pulling
at it.
point,
It makes sense to you when you're
and these
looking at it.
are, I
I'm
guess,
just
for
kind of here,
teachers and
stuff that kind of jumps out at me, but you're doing the flow of it, so you know better than I do.
But she had a beautiful home and, she was just on there, and her husband,
Yeah,
was both. He was, a good husband, and they was knowing that she was full of riding, she never had to.
in your opinion. Well, I want to share with you, the story that, the way I remember it, and, because I
What?
used it in my play, Summer Dreams. And, I'm gonna read that to you and, see how it compares to the reality of what you experience, okay? It is, the story is being told by Esper. He's on the porch with his wife Maggie and their friend Edna. And the story's off. They buried my great aunt Viola in purple. Buried her in a purple dress and a neat stole. And just like anybody else ever buried in purple, she came back. I was 12 when she died. Maggie says, you ain't seen nobody, Esper. I swear for God, Maggie. She died in the month of August. We buried her and then went back to the business of life. Jack and Rufus long gone. It's still hot as anything. I beat Daddy a checker so bad he had gone up to bed a while back.
I don't know if
So I'm
this is the
sitting there
right
looking
one.
up at the stars when out of nowhere a sudden breeze crosses over me. But this breeze doesn't cool me. It chills me to my very core. Next thing I know, I hear the piano from Little Room Parlor playing the
This isn't the right one, Sherry.
I know, I saw it earlier, and you had cut this piece with the film.
This is
I
the
stood
right one.
slowly and softly stepped into the pitch black house. There were no
Let me see.
Okay.
I uploaded the wrong one. So,
That's why we have dailies to like catch these kind of moments, right?
yeah,
Figure it out.
so I'm erase this.
All right. I thought, yeah, because I'm like, wait a minute, I saw this earlier and it was edited. Well, that's nice and loud.
There it is, but I cut a lot of that out. Look.
Hmm.
I thought I cut that out.
Viola in purple. Buried her in a purple dress and a neat stole. And just like anybody else ever buried in purple, she came back.
Stop it there.
I was 12 when she died. Maggie says, you
And
ain't
then I
seen
want to
nobody
go
else.
to where
I swear
the
for God,
film.
Maggie.
Okay.
She died in the month of August. We buried her and went back to the business of life. Jack and Rufus long gone. It's still hot as anything. I beat Daddy a checker so bad he had gone up to bed a
I
while
remember
back.
cutting all that
So I'm
out.
sitting there looking up at the stars when out of nowhere a sudden breeze crosses over me. But this breeze doesn't cool me.
In your
It chills
imagination,
me
huh?
to my core. Next thing I know, I hear the piano from Little Room Parlor playing the quietest, saddest note you ever want to hear. I can hear those soft, sad notes.
Can we get some
I
piano
stood
notes?
slowly and softly stepped into the pitch black house.
Yeah, I might can find some on mine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the old one.
Okay.
I don't even see it in the file. I must have made a mistake and uploaded it.
I definitely know I saw the other one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was Greg Eoff interview. That was supposed to have been uploaded.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation here, basically has these four perspectives on natural. There's how he did himself, and there's how other African Americans viewed at the time. There's how white Americans viewed at the time. Right. And there's how we view them looking at him from the several generations. Right. Exactly. Sometimes they consider you white, and sometimes they consider you just as much a butchermensch as anyone from Nigeria or Afghanistan or any other place that's owned. We Jews constantly get pushed in and out of left quarters.
Yeah, you work for Black House.
Yes. Prosser gave orders to his men to be sure to spare all white Baptists and Methodists and Quakers, because in 1800, those descendant congregations were still holding on to slavery in Virginia. Prosser's rebellion didn't see it as a war. He saw it as a war between the slavers. And
So we put there that he's a historian?
Yeah, it's gonna be in there when you introduce.
Okay.
Kill the wall, including the children, it's been like,
Take the top.
Yeah.
The Commonwealth versus Nat Turner, charged with making insurrection and plotting to take away the lives of diverse free white persons and etc. on the 22nd of August, 1831.
The court, composed of citizens of Southampton County, having met for the trial of Nat Turner, the prisoner was brought in and arraigned, and upon his arraignment pleaded not guilty, saying to his counsel that he did not feel so.
for the moment, not one of them will.
There we go,
The
yeah.
title of this event comes from the fact that Nat Turner was captured on October 30th, given a trial, and hung on November 11th. So the 12 days of Turner reflect that historical fact. And today, as we continue with our goal of talking with the folks who are involved with the 12 days of Turner, we're here with Greg, who will introduce himself and talk about how he became involved with this project.
Thank you. My name is Greg Eatroff, and I have some training as an actor, but I'm primarily a historian with a specialty in 19th century American history. I first became professionally involved with Sherry when she recruited me to perform in the play Abolitionist Museum as Abraham Lincoln. And several weeks ago, she contacted me and told me about this Turner project.
Why does it sound go like that?
And asked me to portray Thomas Gray, the interim leader
Oh.
of Turner, and published his confessions in the 1830s. We're talking this week about Nat Turner's uprising. And in my experience, very few people are familiar with the deeper background that led to it. The history of race relations in the late colonial and early national periods is a lot more complicated than most people are aware of. History doesn't move in a straight line. You often have, it's much more often periods of reform and then reaction, pendulum swinging back and forth. And when people like Nat Turner act, it's in the context of being aware of which way the pendulum is swinging and has been swinging over the course of their lives. So in Virginia in the colonial period, you had a series of increasingly draconian laws to control the growing black population throughout the 17th and 18th centuries. And a lot of that went back to Bacon's Rebellion in 1676, in which white indentured servants and black indentured servants and slaves often combined to fight against
Tangerine?
Sure. You want to drink?
white colonial elites, leading the planters to say, we can never let this happen again. We need to get the poor whites on our side by making color a more important dividing line than wealth. And that continued until the American Revolution, when the colonial elites rebelled against the British elites and needed the support of the common people, and also needed to justify their actions, both to the international community and in their own minds, and built a lot of that on Enlightenment ideas about human rights, which was a relatively new way of looking at the world, or at least bringing back some old classical concepts that had fallen out of favor for a long time. And once you say all men are created equal, it becomes much harder to justify treating another human being as a farm animal. And a lot of the revolutionary leaders took what they were saying seriously enough that they didn't come to the conclusion that slavery was wrong and they should work to get rid of it. And yet, you had a burst of idealism in the 1770s, 80s, and into the 1790s, where some states did abolish slavery, or at least passed laws that would cause it to gradually fade out. And even other states like Virginia and North Carolina, well, not going as far as to outlaw slavery, did take some cautious anti-slavery steps. In Virginia, in the colonial period, they put a lot of barriers in the way of any individual master who wanted to free slaves and bring them into the community as citizens. In the 1780s, Virginia got rid of those laws and said, we're not going to force abolition on anyone, but we are going to accept emancipation from any planters who really do buy into Jefferson's rhetoric about all men being created equal. And you got a major growth in the free black population in places like Virginia and Maryland.
Really, when you say major growth, I mean,
200 free blacks, maybe a couple of thousand, to 83,000 in Maryland and 60,000 in Virginia by the outbreak of the Civil War.
okay,
So we are talking orders of magnitude of growth.
okay.
Now, this is still a fairly small percentage of the total black population in Virginia. 60,000 free blacks, 490,000 slaves in 1860. In Maryland, it was close to half the black population. 83,000 slaves, 86 to 89, I'm sorry, 83,000 free blacks and 86 to 89,000 slaves, so almost equal by 1860.
That is interesting.
Probably the single most famous image of a group of black soldiers, the line of men in their beautiful frock coats with their sergeant standing in that natty blue jacket, is a picture of the 4th United States colored troops who were raised in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
And one figure who isn't in that picture because he was in the company next to that one was Charles Field, right here at Portsmouth, who fled slavery in Virginia, went up to Baltimore to join the 4th USCT, and earned a Congressional Medal of Honor during the Civil War.
Okay.
The idea behind a republic is to have 3 basic kinds of government: monarchy, aristocracy, and democracy. Monarchy has the advantage of being able to take quick action against one person making a decision. Aristocracy has the advantage of an educated elite with
Two notes here.
surviving
Earlier, when
long-term
Greg is talking about the states that have,
democracy
that had
has
abolished
the advantage
slavery
of common people
or had a gradual emancipation of slavery, I want to list them. They were mostly New England states, but like Rhode
But all of
Island,
these governments degenerate.
all of them, several of them did end slavery technically in the 1700s. And I want to have a list of those. I'll Google, just remind me, and I'll Google it and figure it out. So I want that. And then when he just was talking about, oh shoot, what was he just
And
talking
the idea
about?
behind a republic is that you have elements of all 3 of these.
Oh, aristocracy, monarchy. He was talking about what they each mean, and I want to have that
Road
one
is
line
already
kind of like
into
definition of those systems.
a president
as
can
he's
turn
talking about.
himself into a tyrannical absolute monarch if the people and the wealthy elites are both keeping an eye on it. People can degenerate into a mob if the wealthy, educated elite can provide some sort of check on their excesses. And the educated elite can't turn themselves into a hereditary nobility who steals everything if the people have institutional power and can say, no, you don't get to kind of eliminate taxes for yourself and dump everything on us. That's the theory behind the Republic. Cicero talked about it explicitly in his writing, and the men who wrote the Constitution believed that he was right and incorporated those ideas into the Constitution. The president represents the monarchical element, the Senate represents the aristocracy, the House of Representatives represents the democratic element, and they're all supposed to watch each other like a hawk to make sure none of them degenerates.
Okay. And see what you learn when you like talk to historians, you know, you kind of understand the world a little bit better. And that is the goal, is to be able to take this difficult history and help America heal from the wounds of slavery without shame or blame. Fascinating stuff. Well, we actually have to go to work on working on the Confessions of Nat Turner. It turns out that Thomas Gray has a lot to say in the interviews of the Confessions of Nat Turner. Thank you for.
I think that ends just before he says that. I say all of that. It ends just before. Hey, Karen, hold on 1 second, please. Do you understand what I'm saying in terms of that? That last little bit that I was saying, cut that.
When you were saying he was, okay.
Okay. Hey, Karen.
I was just seeing how's it going.
Oh, okay. It's just me and Darlene here working on some video stuff and everything like that. But this is kind of what I expected. I mean, when you send out a flyer the night before or something. We just needed to go. We just need to go through the steps and everything. But yeah, I wasn't exactly expecting crowds. So.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, I'll be there tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds great. Yeah, and I finally did get the flyer opened. I had to download something that would open it, and it said from the top, it'll take an hour. Whatever it was, but it worked. So, I mean, I woke up this morning, I looked, and there it was, but I could not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, there you go. But it looks great.
All right, good, because that's a publisher, Microsoft.
Yeah. Whatever, right? I just kind of go with the flow. Yeah, we're good. We're all good.
All right, fair enough. So then I'll see you tomorrow, because I'll be there at 12 tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan, my dear. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a good evening. Tell Darlene I said hello.
Hey.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
So I'm sitting there looking up at the stars when out of nowhere a sudden breeze crosses over me. But this breeze doesn't cool me, it chills me to my very core. Next thing I know, I hear the piano in the living room parlor playing the quietest, saddest note you ever wanted to hear. I mean, a really soft, sad note.
It's still not the right one.
Wake up.
Waking up.
Well, we got, it's 3:30, so I got to pick up my mom,
Okay.
and she's gonna spend the night at the house tonight. My sister's in Mexico.
Oh, wow.
I know, Robin just said, I'm going to Mexico. I go, all right.
People sick of sitting in the house.
Yeah, that's exactly what should happen. And her job is really stressful. They often have to do like audits and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
it's just like a lot of stress on her. And she's really a person who dots her I's and crosses her T's, so she needed a break.
I'm an artist, man.
Yeah, no
It's a
joke.
lot of headache work.
Yes, it is. That's exactly right.
Okay. Ready to put this up.
Okay. So we've been doing a little podcast with our first day of the open house, which is today is Friday, April 30th, from noon to 4. We have been here working on video, Darlene and myself. So tomorrow will be the second day of our open house on Saturday, May 1st, just like that, from noon to 4. And we're expecting to see a few more people. But the goal is the same, is to show our video and keep working on those. And if, we got folks who show up and want to audition or interview for a position on the crew, we will be able to do that as well. And as always, if we have someone who comes through who is already a member of the team, then we want to interview them as a part of creating a face for who we are as a organization in this community. So, take care. Until the next time.